God damn it. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Red Wings Rant, episode 205. This is a live episode during the Red Wings game, and Chicago just made it 1-0 on derpy little roll into the net. Oh, my God.
Awesome.
Kubalik getting the puck off of a Hronek deflection, and he's just got all the space in the world to finish it off. So just one of those where, you could make the decision as a defenseman to let your goal, to trust your goaltender, or to make a half-assed block of the puck. And Mike Hronek went with the half-assed block of the puck. That just left Kubalik wide open in front of the net with no goaltender in the way, no defenseman in the way.
We're watching
just a bad choice all around.
We're watching two different games, Matt. That was amazing.
Tristan's coming up with the
now, Hronek, obviously he was on the ice for the goal, but he didn't have a stick, and I don't know if you noticed, Matt, on the slow-mo replay, he reached out to try and catch the puck, much like I'm going to ruin a Spider-Man cameo. I'm going to not say it.
Thank you. Hey, Chewie.
I almost ruined it. Almost ruined Spider-Man for Matt. Sorry.
Matt's got to wait till that's being streamed online. So we're going to do like a hybrid here, right? Watch along and an episode. Partly because we both want to make sure we get to sleep on time. But yeah, it should also be fun to watch a TNT broadcast here, Mike, with Paul.
That was my opening. That was my opening question for you. We get to hear a lot of the local guys for most of our season. Matt, you were actually home for the TNT broadcast, and I was excited to hear your view on this because when I watch basketball, that's on TNT, the games, they usually get marquee games, but what gets Emmys and gets a lot of credit is like the production that they do. Whether it's Shaq with his Shaq'd in a Fool, Barkley calling out players, and people watch so much of this show that when they get called out, they actually apologies to Draisaitl. They actually go out and play better. So I was kind of curious, what did you think of your first Red Wing version of the TNT broadcast?
Well, yeah, I was trying to describe to you the story that Bissonnette was telling, and they were doing gifts for Wayne Gretzky's 61st birthday. Mike, the way I described it is you got like an actual human conversation. It wasn't forced, and my evidence that this conversation wasn't forced was because Paul Bissonnette brought it to skid marks and poo-poo. And I'm a huge mark. I tweeted this out. I said I'm a huge mark for skid conversations, and of course tagged it with the old hashtag NHL on TNT. I thought that was pretty clever. I think I got one like out of that. That was really funny. But basically, the point is, not everybody likes to talk about poo-poo. Not everybody thinks farts and poo are funny. Well, but when you're having an actual human conversation and that kind of thing comes up, clearly that wasn't TNT going, make sure you guys fit in more poop. What happened is they let those guys be themselves. And while Bissonnette has quite a bit of personality, probably enough personality for that whole panel, while the rest of the guys are just kind of like, maybe more like cliche chirps and responses. I think they, as much as I told this to you, Mike, a second ago, but I said, as much as I dislike Barstool, Bissonnette on his own makes me laugh. So there's that. So they did a good job of bringing him in, and he's entertaining. So.
Yeah, from what I saw in some other games, they were really good about getting guys out from behind the desk and kind of, out on foot. Do they have any segments like that on this one or not in this episode?
What we got today, the fun moments where they did a chat with Dylan Larkin before the game started, and they were chirping back and forth about hairstyles and stuff. So I think they're doing mostly in studio stuff. To give it a go here. Tristan throws out there. Yeah, Biz definitely isn't the classiest man in the world. That is very accurate.
Could Larkin chirp with the best of them, Matt? Did he get a laugh out of you or no?
Yeah, he actually Paul was telling Larkin like what kind of garbage mullet you got going right now. What's this dirt mullet you got going in the back? And Larkin kind of laughed that off, and he threw back. Hey, it's better than that mustache you got going there, and you're the face of the NHL now. You got to get that shit together. So that was it was good on Larkin, and oh my god, it's 2-0 power play goal for Chicago.
Oh man, they really pinballed that one in.
I was just gonna say that. That was your classic pinball machine power play goal. This went all over the place. Gagne trying to get another penalty called for holding the stick.
You know what's funny when that replay started? I was like, oh, is that the penalty that got us to this point? Oh, it was another attempted penalty to stop a power play goal from going in. Okay, got it.
Yeah, Dekeyser, who do you let sneak in there? Dekeyser lets Strome sneak right in front of the net, and by the time the pass comes out, I think that was DeBrincat to Strome. But by the time the pass gets to the front of the net, we know it's Dekeyser, so by the time he turns around to try and make a play on it, the puck's already in the back of the net. So you got classic Dekeyser there. 2-0 Blackhawks. In Detroit. What's sad, Mike, is that one of the comments I was going to make that, nothing about NHL on TNT, but for this game in particular, I thought the first 10 minutes of this game, so, like pretty much up to the point that we hit record, I really thought this looked like, a classic Red Wings in Little Caesars Arena game. Like we were just going to take over and find a nice, easy victory against a struggling team in the NHL. It's not like a win over Chicago means your whole season turns around. But, it's going to be one of those that we're going to handily take them down. You had two great, Mike, your favorite phrase, two great chances from Zadina so he could increase his expected goals.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, just, right into Fleury's pads. It looked like both shots by Zadina, Mike, if we can have this quick conversation, went to the same exact area where it looked like he was trying to sneak above. Let me do lefty righty here, above his left pad, under the arm, and both times Fleury had it handily and took care of the rebound. So
Fleury read his own scouting report, huh?
Yeah, he just leaves that up so it's an easy shot for him to take down.
It's like what was that in The Office when Jim pretended to have a towel when he was playing poker, and then he would play his card. So that's Fleury with the pretend armpit weakness. Yeah.
Here's I'm pretty sure Tristan threw this out there before the goal even happened. Dekeyser probably has greater odds of getting struck by lightning than actually making a defensive play. Tristan, you oh no, this is only a minute ago. All right, I'm giving you credit, but it still works. I mean, that's the reality. Mike, one of the things we wanted to talk about today, and our episode is titled as such, is grading the midseason Detroit Red Wings grades. And what that means, folks, is that, these midseason grades, they're kind of silly. And we proved as much last year, Mike, when we did our end of season grades. And the only fun way we could think to do it, besides, doing what everyone does and giving a letter grade, is we graded everybody by Little Caesars pizza menu items. It's still a great listen. I recommend whoever, if you have.
That was my favorite episode, I think. Yeah.
If you're a new fan, I think we recorded for maybe 2 hours. That's a long episode. We gave our our arguments, and it's a more fun way to go about it than just going, Zadina gets a bad grade. It could be an awful grade, but he's also a kid, so you give him a C-, D+ kind of area. Which, by the way, like the pluses and minuses, what are we doing there?
That's what the 1 through 5 is basically already for. Not like oh my goodness.
3-0, Mike. Oh man,
ouch.
We picked a good game to record during. Holy mackerels. That's Strome's got another one. Good gravy.
Man, is he about to be a free agent next season to play next to Puce? What's going on here? My God.
All right, so Dekeyser, Seider, also, again, on the ice here for the goal. All right, so what do we do here? Kane makes a great pass. Dekeyser had Kane. Strome takes it between the circles and just fires it over Ned's shoulder. How do we want to grade this, Mike? Talk about grading. I mean, Seider, honestly, right? I mean, that's a pretty weak play. Seider just kind of gave Strome space, protected his chest there with his arm, kind of made some space for Strome to shoot it at the net, and it's 3-0.
Yeah, kind of a stunning choice there for all the available moves in his repertoire to tuck his arm and get out of the way. I didn't see that coming. That was kind of like the first couple minutes of, was it Goldberg, the goalie? I don't know if we got to tie. Yeah, do we have to tie Seider to the net and let him get used to getting hit by pucks? Because that was really weird.
It's a tough play, I think, for Seider, because what is if he goes right and tight on Strome, I mean, he's still got to turn around and play whatever he's going to have in front of him, right? So if he keeps Strome as far away from the net as possible, I think he is still limiting the chance. So he's got that element and probably going in the back of his mind. Because if he plays him tight, right, Strome he doesn't know where Strome is, right? He's watching the puck. Now he's turning to look at Strome, and Strome could very well just dipsy doodle around him. And now he's got free space out in front of the net.
I'm going to call that specialty. I'm going to call that the Shane Wright shimmy, because that was a tank move if I've ever seen one. It looks like we're trying to plummet down the standings with the last couple minutes of this period. Woo! Woo!
So Tristan's arguing in the comments here, there's no fault to Seider. This is all Danny Dekeyser's fault for giving Kane space to make that pass. That, I will still say, that was a hell of a pass by Kane to go the direction that he did behind his back. I don't know. Dekeyser could play Kane tight, but it's the same scenario, right? The problem is that turnover and going on that rush. It was just hard to play. I mean, there's also the element there that Seider and Dekeyser are trying to keep the play as far away from the net as possible. And you probably don't look at Strome taking that shot and go, that's definitely going in the net. So I think it's
debate, Matt. You know, like who did a worse job on that goal, Dekeyser or Seider? Right.
That's kind of
even in the actual even in the actual North-South Civil War. If the North won, we're gonna end slavery. Whoever wins this Civil War between who did a shittier job, we all lose because it's still 3-0.
Still 3-0.
So I'm gonna take Tristan's side just for giggles.
Oh, so you're saying it's mostly Dekeyser? I mean, that's not fair because I was making the argument that Seider had a tougher play when I said so.
Well, you take Seider's side, I'll take Dekeyser's side, and we'll shake hands in the middle.
Oh, so I get Seider's side? All right, so I
got a commercial. Woo! Thank God we got a commercial. God.
Okay, so Mike, our this is what happened the last time I think we recorded during a game, is that we couldn't stay focused on what
I didn't know we were going to get blown out at home. Oh my God.
Yeah. Is this the lack of Gustav Lindstrom? Is that the Gustav Lindstrom effect? So key part of the whole team, Matt, is Gustav. He's the glue. They should call him glue stuff. I brought this up on Twitter. It did pretty good, Mike. A lot of people had fun with this tweet. I just threw out there, name a guy who's having a more under the radar good season. Mike, we look at the J Fresh player cards all the time, and we're talking about Gustav Lindstrom here. So I shared his player card. Neat little element here. You can see that the picture is photoshopped onto this because J Fresh just has some fucking guy there, not Gustav, just some random guy in place of I mean, Gustav's a handsome boy. I wouldn't have shied away from using that picture. But anyhoozles, the way that we can describe this for the folks watching on
that's not Gustav Lindstrom?
That is that picture. I said you can tell that he's photoshopped on there.
I thought, okay, never mind.
Yeah,
I was confused. All right.
That's okay. Look it up on the J Fresh stuff though. Then you'll see whoever he thinks Gustav is. It looked like it might be a Coyotes jersey, so I'll just leave it at that. Anyhoozles. I did tweet at him, so I think he might have fixed it actually since then. But all right, so just to recap what these player cards are doing for us, they give you these percentile rankings to say where a player sits. Now, I did get to explain this, Mike, to Darren McCarty yesterday, and he thought I was Daniela Bruce. Had some fun with that as well. I don't know why he thought I was Daniela Bruce.
He didn't try to slide into the DMs, dude.
Oh, yeah, he did. Hey, I'm healthy. All right.
Jeez. All right, we're getting off that train right now because I don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
So the percentage base here is I'm going to throw out that Gustav's WAR percentage is 83%. So what that means is he's in the top 83% of the league. All right, actually, no, I said that wrong. He's in how do you want to say that? He's in the top 17% of the league in regards, in regards to WAR, and that is taking into consideration everything. So this is him compared across the league. So you can't forget that. I saw some people remark that with this score, maybe one day he'll be a good third pairing defenseman. Mike, I believe we're past that. At this point, with this 83% and the job that Gustav is expected to do, and that he's turning in an 83% WAR, that he's better than 83% of all defensemen in the league right now. I think we're looking at a guy who needs to be tested next year in the second pairing. He's gone through half a season, Mike, and this is where we're sitting. So clearly, we want to see him get through the full season and see where he still lies. But I mean, Mike, we could sit here right now and make an argument. Ooh, looks like we miss him a little bit as he's out, and we're down 3-0. So I just want to throw that out
immediately. Using a small sample size, but man, hard to convince me otherwise. This is going to be a rough game to get all the way through. But yeah, I don't know. There's Gustav. We don't have. I still don't feel like we have much of a sample size, even if we do use all the games he's played this year. Because it still feels like he's kind of not, been in and out of the lineup. I don't know what else he has to do besides be there on every single statistic to prove himself and get more ice time and move up in the rankings. I don't know if they're just waiting for him to have more experience and waiting for some contracts to end, and next year is going to be the magic season. But I still feel like it's weird that I feel like we should be seeing more out of him. But I don't mean like from performance, but I mean like physically. Our eyeballs seeing him more, and we're not.
I mean, right now he's just hurt, and anytime he's been out, it's pretty much been injury. But if he's healthy, he's in the lineup, and Blash knows as much to keep him in there. Things he's got going for him right now. This 83% on the PK. We know that we struggle on the penalty kill. We're right in the middle of the league right now when trying to figure out where we stand. I think we're 18th in the league, so not right in the middle. But we're
better than our power plays at 29.
Right. We're trying to find places that we can improve this team incrementally every season. But if you look at a guy that's turning in at 83%, he's better than 83% of the defensemen that play penalty killing minutes. I think you've got a guy. When I say he's got something going for him, you're looking for guys to fill in, roles moving forward. You've got a guy now that, for sure, again for me, maybe not for you, Mike, but for sure can fill a hole. That's not just being a third pair defenseman, being a second pair defenseman, but you've got a guy that's filling a special teams hole as well. So again, Mike, your point, it's true. Half a season isn't a ton. To me, I think it's a pretty good point to start saying, this we can at least say this guy's had a great first half of the season. And you don't really have to hold back on that great either to say that not only are you in the top half of the league, I mean, you've only got 17% of all defensemen in the NHL are faring better than you in the advanced analytics category. So it's time to move on. But I say thumbs up, A+. And the number one thing for me, I think Gus needs more of a test on to say that he's ready for, some more money moving forward. Right. So he's got to get that second pairing test, and he's got to be successful in that. All right. It's very distracting to watch this game and try and make a point about Gustav because
can I say
this totally
one
went
observation trying to watch this game is it looks like the Blackhawks know how to play NHL 2K22 and they're actually hitting the shoot button where they should, and the Red Wings will cross the blue line and hit the pass button instead of the shoot button. Woo! Woo!
Is that Strome again?
Was it? Did he get the head? Did he get a Pew special?
I got this muted. I'm not sure what's going on.
They look pretty excited. They showed a lady with mittens clapping. I don't think Strome gets.
She doesn't know what's going on.
She's just
Tristan. No, Tristan threw out the old fire blashel. Tristan.
Oh no. Oh no. Fire blash for this.
He's on that train again. Now, Tristan.
I think he's being sarcastic, right?
I don't know. He says he's on the train again. That was his comment. I don't know what what happens that's so different. I mean, we just talked about how Gustav Lindstrom is developing. We could see Lucas Raymond and Seider making strides. This game just isn't going our way. I don't know if you can judge a team based off this. I don't know. I struggle. I mean, we talk ad nauseum about how much more talent this team needs, and then they're still 500. So I don't know. It's tough for me to look at this and say that Jeff Blashill needs to go because this team isn't winning consistently. I just we're hitting the expectations. So I don't know. This game's a bummer, right? This game sucks. There's a lot of bad turnovers, a lot of odd man rushes that just are going Chicago's way. The bounces, you could make the argument, are certainly going their way. So I don't know. Sometimes you're just not going to have fun watching a hockey game, and I don't fire anybody for it. I'll
oh
say
my
that.
God, this broadcast studio is beautiful. It looks like they're in a spaceship that broadcasts hockey highlights. This is awesome. We're talking about the TNT presentation here.
I know I am kind of bummed right now because we decided to record during this game, and now we're going to miss the period break.
I don't even know what the geometry is on this monitor. I don't even know what shape that is. It's kind of a flattened boomerang. They have hockey highlights flowing through.
They're going, it's like
is it supposed to be a hockey helmet?
It's like that modern way of designing things. You're throwing in elements of shapes from different things that relate. So it's like a hockey stick and a puck because you've got the roundness and the way the hockey stick angles.
Man, my mind is blown. I'm learning all new shapes and colors, man. This is amazing.
Tristan says it looks like they're in the Fortress of Solitude. I like it.
It does.
Yeah, Jared's got a good play. He's gonna watch the new episode of Book of Boba Fett. I read online that it is a good one. So apparently it doesn't progress the story at all. But sometimes that's what happens with these Star Wars shows or the Marvel shows. Sometimes you just get like a one-off.
Would you rather watch that period again, or an episode of the new season of Sex and the City?
Oh, God. I think an episode of the new season of Sex and the City, only because I've heard how cringe bad it is, that I could go for a laugh. I don't shy away from bad programming to get a laugh out of it. And I don't laugh at this. I don't laugh at the Red Wings being down 4-0. So I'll go with the one that has potential to make me laugh because it's so bad. So I'll go with Sex and the City on that. It's a good question, Mike.
Yeah, no problem. I'm full of them. I think I too would go with the new Sex and the City show. Even though Samantha is gone, which was the whole point of watching. So yeah,
Is she dead? What happened there?
Storyline wise, she said, "I don't want to be around these wipes anymore." No, I mean, sorry, that was real life. Storyline wise, I don't know what they did with Samantha.
I was like, how did they make that storyline wise? Did she call in?
Yeah, she's tired of being around the show and those women, and she's done. So,
all right, we got our boys are showing up, Mike. Brad, what in the holy hell What's
Brad,
up, Timmy? He's tuning in. What's going on, Timmy?
Brad, are you saying that in regards to the embarrassing first 20 minutes or our Sex in the City discussion, which is miles more interesting than what the Red Wings are putting out there?
Brad wants that period with Jessica Parker as the announcer. So just to improve it somehow, I think to try and hear her struggle through it might be a bit of fun. I don't know if Brad wants her in character like Sex in the City. I'm gonna say yes for Brad's sake. I'm gonna talk for Brad. He wants him in character. All right, so we got Kubalik, Strome, Lafferty on the primary assist from Strome.
Yeah.
And it's 4-0. So, Mike, I think it's time we start talking about some of these show topics we created.
God, I hope so. I hope so. I don't want to talk about that game anymore. That's over.
Well, one of the show topics, Mike. Now I have to at this point admit that I've been saying Jamel's name wrong. But Jamel Smith, Mike, Daniela Bruce reported today. This is for everyone who's not me, because I am fine with him staying in Grand Rapids. It's going to be fun to see him play with Giovanni. That'll be a heartwarming moment. But it's not anything that I was like breaking the door down for. But apparently, for everyone else who is interested, he did get an assist in his last game with Grand Rapids through his conditioning stint. But it is supposed to last one more game, according to Daniela Bruce, in Grand Rapids. So we'll see what happens after that. Apparently, his skating improved exponentially from
since he was a Tampa Bay Lightning
to the second one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So between those two games, he's doing a lot better. So if he is coming back to Detroit, things are moving in the right direction. Can't complain about an assist, even though it was a secondary assist. It was a nice goal too, because it ended up being Jared McIsaac's.
It's still an assist, man. Those still count.
I know.
It's so tough to get excited about that news, because I don't even know how or when or if he's going to play for the Red Wings. I mean, he's going to get 5 minutes a game on the fourth line.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's different reasons that is news. It's not news because it's going to mean wins. It's news.
No, I mean, it's a new Red Wing, right? It's a guy on the transaction sheet. Let's see the shiny new toy, but it's just kind of like, oh, well, I guess it's not the type of player that I thought we would take a gamble on, a non-goal scorer, because my God, could we use a couple right now we need 5 goals to win this game, Matt, at least.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, I think it does come back to what I said, and oh no, shoot. Well, let me finish what I was saying, and then I'll tell you guys why I said, oh no.
Hey, there's
comes back to what I said in the last episode, where we talked about Smith getting picked up, was that it was because of the brothers. I think first and foremost, I don't think they were making that move to change this team too much. But I said, oh no, because we were going to grade out the midseason grades from Detroit News, Free Press, ESPN. We have some things on our slides we're going to show you guys today, but I am now blocked out of the Detroit News. So that sucks for me. But ultimately, Mike, I think we'll just move on. So sorry, Detroit News, you don't get to be featured in this episode.
Huge loss. People are devastated, man.
Yeah, Mike, what are we doing here with these mid-season grades? Explain to everybody that's tuned in, so I can find the other stuff that we want to show off.
Oh gosh, well, I guess just the idea was, feels like you kind of get oversaturated with the whole grading mechanism, and I'm just a little distracted because Yzerman is talking about, I know we suck, and I know that people are going to talk about it when we suck, and they might say something else when we win. So here we go. The most diplomatic, pragmatic answer you could ever ask for from somebody in upper management for your sports team. But we were just trying to take a look at, some of the grades that come in for our beloved Red Wings. And I guess we're going to try and grade the grades because I have a feeling, if we just threw a name out to our people, let's say Mo Seider, how are you going to grade Mo Seider's performance through 40 games of his NHL career? I could almost guarantee, Matt, that the consensus is probably an A- because he's, not totally lighting the score sheet up to be like an A++. So there's like room where he could do more. But my God, how much more can you ask for a guy who's, barely 20 years old, almost the rookie leader in points as a defenseman, making smart plays all the time. Outside of that one today, which we still have not found a good excuse for. We were just going to try and grade the grades of the people doing the grades.
So first up, Helene St. James on the Free Press. Now, like a couple of these are a lot easier because we can just like show you guys like one slide and it does the whole grade. Yeah. Helene goes through every player like you were detailing there. So this will be one of the ones that's a little bit lengthier. Bertuzzi, A. I mean, I don't know exactly how you want to do this, Mike, but maybe we can run through these and then come back.
Yeah, I like that idea. Let's go.
Tuzi, A. Adam Ernie, C-. Robbie Fabry, B-. Sam Gagner, B-. I'm gonna mark that one and come back. Dylan Larkin, an A. Namestnikov, a B+. Rasmussen, a C-. Lucas Raymond, an A. Carter Rowney, a C. Giovanni Smith, a C+. He's a plus better than Rowney. Mitchell Stevens, a C. Pew Suter, a B. Joe Veleno, a C-. Filip Zadina is a D. Heading to the defenseman, Dekeyser is a C-. Woo!
Wow.
Super. Somebody's worried about an off-season story with Danny Dekeyser. Filip Hronek, a B-. Nick Leddy, a C-.
No!
Lindstrom, a B. There we go. Jordan Osterley, a C. Moritz Seider, Mike, an A, as you predicted. Yeah. Mark Stahl, B+. To the goaltenders, this is a shout-out to performance art. Thomas Greiss, a C. Unbelievable, actually. Alex Nedeljkovic, a B+. Mike, your coaching.
Blashill and the boys. Give me a B.
Blash and the boys, get a B. I mean, Helene does make the point. I read this earlier that, technically we're still in the wild card conversation, right? So I respect this take. And you're talking about a team that is still in a rebuilding stage, and they just decided to get into the wild card conversation early. If you want to say that is primarily because of Mo Seider and Lucas Raymond, there's a lot of merit to that. If you want to say it's because Nedeljkovic is turning in a hell of a season so far, not leading the league, but it's a great season by Nedeljkovic. A lot of merit to that. But if you forget that somebody needs to bring this all together and find a way to use these players and make the rest of Mike the bottom nine, as you like to put it.
We don't have a top six.
Yeah. 4 or 5 defensemen, depending on how you want to put that sentence together, that are all struggling. You got to make that work, and you're still a 500 team. I know there's things that people are upset about with Jeff Blashill, but on the whole, if you want to nitpick and find little things that you struggle to understand, there's probably just as many other things that are positive. So B for Jeff, I'm fine with. I don't know another coach that comes in here with this group. Mike, you're talking about a Zadina that we were counting on to score. We're talking about a team without probably you could have guessed would have been their top goal scorer this year. For a team as like begging for talent as much as we are, also take away their top goal scorer for half the season. They're still sniffing around.
Can you do me a favor real quick? Can you slowly scroll back up?
Yeah. So that's it for Jeff. Mike's ready to scroll back up. Mike, who do you want to see?
Go to Letty. He's about a C-. All right, go back to Dekeyser.
Oh boy, this is good podcasting. Scrolling up.
So
to Dekeyser.
they both got C-. So as far as grading the grader, Matt, that's a little too diplomatic for me. Dekeyser should probably be a D, like a generous D. And Nick Leddy, we've seen it so many times where we're just baffled by moves that opposing GMs make, and we need to trade Nick Leddy. So you need to give him a B+ and be like, I'm here watching every game, and he just brings a little something to the table. Any team would be proud to acquire him at the deadline for a second, maybe even a late round first for Nick Leddy.
There's an executive that will go out and search midseason grades because their job was to watch every Nick Leddy game to figure out if it's worthwhile. But there's a new episode of the Book of Boba Fett that just came out, and he'd rather watch that. So
that's true.
I don't blame him.
Scouting's really hard. There's a lot of players. Ugh. Why do scouting when you could just read the midseason grades of NHL teams?
Right.
Yeah.
Mike, I'll agree with you. I think one of the things that you'll almost never see is a failing grade.
Smith. This should be a D.
Yeah, that's I'm fine. Giovanni Smith with a C.
Mitchell Stevens, you know what? D. Don't feel like I could count on him at all. Don't feel like I could count on him. Ooh, he brought some speed. Yeah, when is he playing? 16 games, Matt. Played one out of. Whose fault is that?
Hey. Come on! I was going to say that should be incomplete. You're being ridiculous now. Let me finish my point.
Okay, I'll say incomplete or a D, but not a C. No.
Honestly, with when he was out there and what his job was, Andy was improving quite a bit right when he got hurt. So I'm not.
That's why these grades just blow my mind because every single player is graded on a subjective curve. If Larkin played like Stevens was, we'd be like, oh my God, man, we got to blow up this team because this guy sucks. But, he's Mitchell Stevens and he's fast and, we just asked him to not do very much. So he did a C job of not having to do very much. It's like, what if you had actual responsibilities and by God, this team was decimated by injuries? Do you think he'd be getting goals just because he's on the first line getting more minutes? No.
But he's
he'd be doing marginally more productivity. He's a D.
You have to come with some objective way of thinking about this, but that's to a point because Dekeyser has a role on this team that puts him on the first pair a lot of the time. So you have to grade him like a first pair defenseman. And Mike, what I was going to say before you jump, like the Giovanni Smith one, I'm fine with. Mitchell Stevens should probably just be an incomplete. But what I was going to say before we got into that part of the conversation was you'll never see like an E on these things or an F, however you want to put that as a failing grade. Because everybody's always got to, the players are going to give you interviews later on in the season. So they don't want to ruffle any feathers. But I was going to say, if anybody deserves that failing grade, it's the guy who gets the first pair of minutes, gets put on special teams, and just completely blows those opportunities top to bottom. It's Danny Dekeyser. That should be a failing grade. No doubt in my mind, and give him a C-. That is politicking to make sure that he doesn't feel too bad with his season so far.
Matt, I think that you are 100% correct. And I think that your failing grade of Dekeyser, it's kind of in the same line of thinking as my very aggressive negative marks for Mitchell Stevens, who, he's not, the worst player of all time. He's not Danny Dekeyser. It's like it's almost unfair to go to school and everybody takes the SATs, but some of us can get a C and others get an A based on expectation, but we all kind of get the same test.
Yeah, but isn't it more like, you're past the grading, right? Because they were all really good in juniors and they had to show that they could hold the stick, which is more like that's your test. That's how you get to the NHL. So now you're past all those stupid tests, and now you're either a woodworker or a ditch digger, or or you're the CEO, which then you're like Dylan Larkin. So I'm saying that's how these things should be graded. How good are you at being a ditch digger? But for Dekeyser, he's like I said, I mean, he's put in a spot
a
where
first-line defenseman or a top-pairing defenseman. Right. He has failed.
Failing miserably.
He's failed heroically bad. Yeah. Tristan threw out there a C- downgrade for Fabry. Yeah, I could get behind that.
Yeah, let's go through these comments real quick. Brad threw out there, she gave Bird an A on gameplay, but an E on vax status.
Woo!
Tristan, only way Dekeyser is a C is if he's C for crippled. Oh boy.
I like this Red Wing roast. This is good.
Brad liked that one. C for crappy from Chewy there. Brad, Bruins beat us by 15 plus. Brad's got D for Danny. Aw, that's kind of, see, now we're getting, that was just adorable. Brad wants Darren McCarty's input. I can tell you right now, Brad, I am never going to have Darren McCarty back on my show ever again. Sorry for anybody that wants that. He didn't want to be here, so he'll never have to be here again.
If you ever wanted to watch a grown man mail it in and start rolling a joint for 10 minutes, then you should go back to that episode in the archives, because that's about all he brought to the table.
Yeah, I mean, he clearly wasn't listening to what we were saying either. So, I mean, what's the point? There may be other instances where Darren is a better listen, and it just might be, not on our show.
What were the other grades that we were going to go over?
Mike, we also had...
because we still got to grade Helene.
Right. So let me pull it. Yeah, I'll start pulling up the next one while you grade Helene, and then I'll give my input there.
So, she's a little too generous, I think. I think we can all agree, everybody watching this broadcast can agree. She's a little too generous for the Fabrys of the world, for the Dekeysers of the world. For me, for the Mitchell Stephens. I'm sorry. He's fast, but Matt, you know what I'm going to do? She missed the mark on that Dekeyser grade. I'm going to give her a D+. She's a big fan of the pluses and minuses. I think this was a series of grades for somebody who, has to see these players and interview them and write articles and get them to answer real questions. So it's really tough to do. But I don't think it means that we got the most honest grade for these guys. So I understand. If I was talking to Helene, I'd be like, I get it. I would probably be a little bit softer on these grades because these are real people I have to go talk to. But Matt, from a safe distance over here, it's a little too soft for me. Matt, give me a D+.
I did sneak my way into the Detroit News for free, so we'll pull it up in a minute here. Yeah. But I agree. What was the letter you gave her?
It's such a huge miss of the mark on Dekeyser and a few other guys, and it felt like a politically correct series of grades. So I'm going to do a D+ because I know she likes the pluses and minuses.
I'm fine giving her. Again, back to the plus and minuses. I mean, she did well with a majority of the roster. I liked her Jeff Blashill grade. It's really just a couple of missteps here or there. So I'm going to give her a C-. I'm going to be political here because overall, she didn't do a terrible job, but she definitely didn't do an amazing job. She didn't come in with hot takes and then come in with the argument where it's like, yeah, that is true. They should get an E. It just didn't happen. It just came in with some pretty cold takes. So I'm gonna say C-.
You know how that example you just gave, you read a review or heard a review, and you're like, you know what, I'm on board with that. Matt, you sold me. Give Helene a C-. I'm on board.
Double C-. Yeah. Brad throws out there. What did she give Lucas? He
got an A.
Yeah. Tristan is very mad at you. He's given Mitchell Stephens a B. I will say this. I think he should be an incomplete because we have not seen enough Mitchell Stephens. But Mike, you're my brother and I love you. But I think Mitchell.
Man, he's going to be a hell of a Darren Helm maybe if he can get up to 2 goals a season instead of 0. Man, what an asset! Again, I hope we can put him and Joe Valeno on a line to get no goals for a whole year.
Was the ditch digger able to dig a ditch? Yes or no? That's how you got to do it.
Was the monkey able to put a stick in the log? Wow. A+ monkey.
That's... But I wanted to make it real.
Mine
is real.
Mine is stupid ass Jay.
You could be a CEO and be really bad at it. You can be a ditch digger and be really bad at it. But
you know what,
Mitchell
though?
Stevens
I can get another monkey
really
to put a stick in a log. I'm sorry.
Anyways, all right. We're starting with Ted Colfin here. If you guys we're looking at pictures here. That's how I could pull this up. Hopefully the Detroit News doesn't get wind of this and like all of a sudden throw up a subscribe here before you look at these pictures.
Let's not dwell on that. All right,
right,
Grice,
right. We gotta roll through this. Grice,
yeah.
C-. Nedeljkovic, B+.
Okay.
Oh, so far kind of. Oh, Danny Dekeyser, D+. So far, Ted.
Pretty good.
Ted Colfin's got the C. He's got a C.
Colfin's on a roll.
I'll put him at a B right now.
B-.
C-. Nick Leddy, C. I think. Okay. What did Helene give him? A C+.
C-. He's a C-.
Okay, I can still see a C. Gustav a B.
Like it.
Osterley is a C. Fair. Moritz Seider an A. Very good. Mark Stahl C+.
Pretty good.
I mean, if you judge him on the last month or so, I'd give him a B-. Trey Stetcher incomplete. Very good.
Like that.
Tyler Bertuzzi gets an A. Can't
like that.
Really argue there. Adam Ernie a C-. I might go in D, in the D range. Robbie Fabry a B-. All right. Oof. Sam Gagne a B-. Again, if we're gonna play, he's a fourth line forward, Mike. He does what a fourth line forward is asked.
Before we move on, can you go back to Gagne?
Yes.
Does he invite journalists over for free, like Thanksgiving dinners or something? Oh my God! All right, continue.
Now, Ted may have given him a B- here because he throws in that Sam Gagne's got 40 goals so far this year. He might have meant 40 games.
He took the wrong note and then looked back and said, "Wow, B, awesome,
40 goals." So how do we judge that, Mike? Do we say, is it a whoopsie by Ted, or does he drop a whole letter grade because he said Sam Gagne has 40?
No, I'm not going to punish Ted for that because some intern probably put in the statistics, and Ted said, "Wow." I would have gave him a B also if I saw 40 goals from Ernie or Gagne. Sorry, they're just interchangeable in my head.
An A. Namestnikov gets an A-. I'm pretty happy with that.
I can take that. Yep.
See, now here's the thing, Mike. You're judge. You shouldn't be able to take the A- from Namestnikov. I can, because I know what Namestnikov's role is, and I know he's performing well. When you're Mitchell Stevens grade, you shouldn't. So stop being you and your.
Can't wait to see all those Mitchell Stevens jerseys out in Little Caesars Arena.
If Mitchell Stevens comes back and scores goal before the end of the season, I'm going to get you a Mitchell Stevens
refresh
jersey.
My memory. Did you order a Lucas Raymond or a Mitchell Stevens jersey? I'll wait.
So Lucas Raymond.
All right. Lucas Raymond, A. Good.
Carter Rowney, B-.
Woo! Man. All right. What else we got?
Ted.
Is that the last one?
Ted. We'll have to go back to that one. Giovanni Smith, a C-. Mitchell Stevens. Mike?
With a Matt special. Incomplete.
Attaboy, Ted. Pew Suter gets a B. Joe Valeno, a C. Zadina, a C. It's as if Zadina has regressed in certain areas. There's been more defensive lapses, and the goal-scoring ability has yet to surface on a consistent basis. Too many invisible evenings, and now he's fallen out of the top 6 forwards and needs to show he deserves the move back up. Mike?
Wow.
We gave Helene a C-. Ted, I'm going to give him a C+. So far, he's winning. Now, unfortunately, I should reveal at this point, when it comes to like these local papers, these are the only 2 I have. I think if you give me a minute, I might be able to pull up like M Live and see what they did. But go ahead, Mike. What's your? Do you want to go back and see anybody on this list?
Just kind of go through it a little bit slower. So there's only one.
You want to stick on Mitchell Stevens?
Yep, keep going. Nope, keep going. Keep going. Keep going. I'd say there was maybe only 3 where I was kind of surprised. Like I didn't know Carter Rowney had. This is a we're grading based on what he's asked to do.
I miss the hot takes. There's no real hot takes. I think he's pretty safe in all these picks, and I think they're more accurate than Helene, which is why I'm sticking with the C+.
I think that you're just excited about the incomplete score. Yeah, God, I forgot Stetcher was on our team.
Remember how badly we wanted to keep him?
Oh, man, we were dying to get that guy re-signed. Yeah, you can't be upset about Gustav and Letty. I think there was only one weird one where, I know Zadina's dropped down, but I mean, you were almost every episode making the case for his deep cut analytics, justifying him still being a top 6 forward on this team. And I think that Helene had a slightly more generous grade than the D he's getting from Ted. It's tough because we're so frustrated with him, and he just recently got this demotion, so it feels like, yeah, D, suck it, Zadina. But I don't know, man. That guy feels the most snake bitten in the history of the Red Wings, where it's just, my God, he just can't get it in the effing net. Whatever, no matter what he tries to do. So I'm going to say, I'm going to give Ted, I'm going to go up a whole letter grade from Helene. I'm going to take him up to, I'm going to give him a B. I'm going to give him a B, man.
And I'm fine with that. I found it's Anzar Khan. But before we do that, Mike, we had a Robbie Fabry goal, and Tyler Bertuzzi just put in one. It's 4-2. That second line, Mike. Woo-wee!
They're cooking. The chef is out there cooking.
I'll confess here, Mike, while we were doing this, I completely missed the Fabry goal, but Tuzzi one here it's a Tuzzi special. We got a fast break. He's getting a rebound on his own shot. I mean, is anything more of a Tyler Bertuzzi goal?
He did sneak it in under the armpit, by the way. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah.
Feathered it through that little armpit there.
Yeah, he read the same scouting report as Filip Zadina. It's just
man, he wrote the goddamn scouting report.
All right, so we get a hat trick from Lucas Raymond, and I mean, basically, it's 5-4 Detroit. The way you look at it, because you still got that hat trick to come in.
Little Caesars Arena is buzzing.
2 goals in 56 seconds.
I just saw Bertuzzi on the bench. He just said, armpit. Shoot it at his armpit. Not really. He was talking about something else hockey related. But did you have one more set of grades for us to look at?
Oh, we've got 3 more.
Oh, hell yeah. Let's do it.
So, yeah, I mean, this is going to be tough for me because I do want to watch this game.
You want to watch the comeback?
All right, I'll make it a really tiny screen, and we'll go through Anzar Khan here while you guys are watching the game. I mean, yeah, while everybody's having fun here, Mike, you keep the game up. You keep me posted on what's going on while I.
All right. Larkin just got a hat trick.
Pull up the one.
Yeah.
Detroit Red Wings beat writer who has blocked us because you know how mean and nasty we are on Twitter. We're blocked by Anzar Khan. So the only way I see his stuff is through my own Twitter account. All right, but yeah, we can run through these. You ready to go?
Let's do it.
Tyler Bertuzzi, A. Ernie, C. Robbie Fabry, B-. These are looking pretty similar. Sam Gagner getting the B. Larkin getting an A. Namestnikov an A-. This is a good blend of the other 2 grades we already went through. Rasmussen a C+, Lucas Raymond an A, Carter Rowney a C+. Didn't get the Ted Colfin rub there. Giovanni Smith a C-. Mitchell Stevens, Mike.
Another Matt special. Whew.
Telling you, that's the proper grade for Stevens because I liked what we saw, but clearly 16 games isn't enough time to properly judge a guy. Pew Suter, B. Joe Veleno, C. Again, these from Anzar Khan. Filip Zadina, Mike.
Oof.
Getting the D. Zadina's shot from the faceoff circle. That was so dangerous at lower levels. Isn't effective against NHL goalies. So he must find other ways to score. Which, again, We saw 2 more of those at Fleury today, and Fleury just batted them away. And we've already determined, Mike, that that's what Tyler Bertuzzi was going for, and Bert squeaked it past. Mike, Ansar Khan has us blocked. We might want to ask for him to unblock us because that is a great take. Because we just saw it happen in this game. I'll throw that out there. Ansar Khan, good job, man. Unblock us. Defenseman, Dekeyser, C-. Oh. I know why we're blocked, so I don't think it's happening. Filip Zadina, B-. Nick Leddy, C-. Gustav Lindstrom, B. Osterley, a B-.
Wow.
20 games. 4 more games than Mitchell Stevens, and Osterley gets the B-. Moritz Seider, an A. Mark Stahl, B+. I like the B+. I like it. Troy Stetcher, an incomplete. Grice squeaking in a clean C. Nedeljkovic, a B+. Now, I don't know how you look at Grice and give that performance a C. And then, like, if you give Grice a C, then you should give Nedeljkovic an A+. But if you're giving Nedeljkovic a B+, Grice should be in the D-E range. Right?
Right. Also, if you saw me react, oh, what's up, Sam? Yeah, it's okay, man. Yeah, hopefully you watched just the second period, not the first period of this awful Red Wings game. But we just went, now we're on the penalty kill. We're trying to undo all this hard-earned momentum here from the past couple minutes. Here we go.
Thanks.
But Matt, yeah, I agree with your take on the goalies. And then can you skim back up to the defensemen?
I can.
So I feel like this is where...
I was cheating here. I was trying to watch the game for a second. Tristan threw out there that Veleno tried a lacrosse move.
Yeah. I wish I kind of hit up for... yeah, I could be on board with the Gustav score. Give you that Mark Stahl B+. But, man, Dekeyser, it's just almost just indefensible. I don't know what games they're watching that I'm not, but I can't grade him a C. That, like you said, Matt, we've been harping on it a couple times now. Like, he's gotten so many opportunities in top spots, and it's just not going well.
How about today's game? The first line cycling, and Seider throws it across to his D-pair man, and Dekeyser's gone. Camera moves over. He's on the bench. He was good. He was done.
I'm ready.
I'm done with this shift. I'm ready to go home.
You know what? I'm ready for an orange.
That was when we were dominating too. Orange. Yeah, who knows what would have happened there? It looks like we got 4-on-4.
Hey, we're pretty good at those. I'm positive. Yeah, then a lot of love for Gagne, which I don't hate him. I just a B.
That's the difference. That I think it is this mentality, Mike, of judge. Can the CEO even do? Can the CEO be a ditch digger? And this, I'm almost done with my beer, so I'm getting sleepy, and
I thought you were going to say you were almost done finishing the ditch you were digging outside in the backyard.
Just to let you guys know, I almost finished my hole. It's a hop slam, so everybody who's a fan of those knows that that's a 1 beer for the night. You know what? It's a stronger beer. It's a 1 beer for the night for Matty Man. It's hot in here. Is it hot in here? Is it just me?
Can I ask our group? Are you guys more of a craft beer, or like just give me like a Coors or a Bud Light? I don't need all that fancy stuff. I'm just curious. I've been drinking a lot of because there's like a brewery. I live in Waterford, home of Dylan Larkin, baby. Woo! And we have a Kingston brewing that has some pretty good IPAs, pretty good little stout. So I just wondered, what do our people drink? But we got to move on.
it. Corona.
Oh, you know what, Jared?
He loves.
I've been drinking Dos Equis. I kind of like those a lot.
Jared, have the prices dropped on Corona over the last year and a half, 2 years?
I thought that was a measured number, that the prices did drop because dummies thought if they drank one they'd get coronavirus.
That was what I was referencing. Chris C, Blue Moon. That is a great beer. Can I just say, if you're talking about a beer that you can get absolutely anywhere, Blue Moon is a great one. I am a sucker too for that slice of orange they put in there. Chris, do you buy oranges to put into your beer? Brad, Coors Banquet beers. Does that come in the little fat bottle, the little glass bottle? I guess all beer comes in glass bottles. I'm just thinking of the little fat,
the little chubby guys, the little chubbies.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, geniuses. Oh, I thought something happened in the hockey game. He's talking about the dum-dums that thought Corona would get you sick.
Oh, yeah, thanks. Yeah, thanks, dummies. Make your favorite beer more affordable. I like that a lot. So if you guys are simulcasting, Red Wings are going to have a 20-second power play.
I think Brad is confirming the little chubby bottle here. All right, Mike. So Ansar Khan, we'll get back to the point here while we're watching the Wings game. Ansar pretty close to Ted's grades, but that Dekeyser grade, I just can't get over I'm getting angry about the Greiss grades, to be completely honest. If you're going to give Nedeljkovic a B, Greiss shouldn't be one letter grade below Nedeljkovic. I mean, Ned's having a hell of a season, and Prashant Thayer's brought it up multiple times that we are giving up more expected chances than any team over the last couple of months. And Nedeljkovic keeps us in games. And I mean, besides this one, that kind of got out of hand quick. But I think we also talked about some defensive lapses thanks to DDK. Anyway.
No, those are narrative grades. I think that what I like about what you said is it should be at least, a letter and a half better. Probably 2 letters at least, right?
Yeah.
But they're doing the narrative where Greiss, he lost his job. They were going to split goaltending time, and now Greiss is, getting one every
3 or 4 games.
4, yeah, something like that. And he's lost it, and I don't think he's getting it back.
I like Jared's grade here. A- for Ned, C+ for Greiss. He put a C equals and switched it to C+. I thought maybe that was going to be C-. I'm fine putting Greiss as a C- on that grade scale there. So I like the A-, C-, but I'm not, I'm not going to cause a big stink for an A-, C+. I think that's still a good differential between those two. So Mike, Ansar Khan, you put, what did I do? I gave Ted a C+, Helene got a C-. That Dekeyser I can't get over, the Greiss I can't get over. Khan, you're a C-, just like Helene. A lot of good, not a lot of great. Ted,
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go right in the middle. I think a little bit better than Helene. I'm gonna give him a C, a flat C. Not quite Ted. Ted is still the winner right now. Helene with the C-.
All right. So the last couple of ones are 1-pagers. So I already know which one out of all of these I think did the best job. Mike, you asked for Bleacher Report. I got to blow this up. This was their...
Oh, boy. Here we go.
This was through like 20 games they did this. Oh, great. Well, this isn't popping up. They gave him a C-. Detroit Red Wings aren't outplaying preseason expectations as much as the Ducks are. And of course, the Ducks are coming back a little bit by, once we hit the halfway point. Things seem to be turning around in Hockey Town. So this is not player by player. This is just the full team. How are they doing? I gave you this one, Mike, because like I said, you specifically asked for Bleacher Report. This was like through November. I think early December they turned these in. But yeah, they're pretty much saying good for Seider, good for Raymond. Things are moving in the right direction, but not, we have a lot of ground to gain for any team that got an A on Bleacher Report. So I'm going to say they did fine, but also, this almost doesn't count.
That's the whole grade.
Yeah.
They did the entire team in 5 paragraphs. 5 1 to 2 sentence paragraphs. Bleacher Report, F.
All right.
If I didn't glean anything out of that.
ESPN, overall grade a B. Midseason MVP, Moritz Seider. Player who needs a reset, Filip Zadina. Also mentions that there's all those trade rumors out right now for Zadina. And then, of course, it's pretty thrilled with the development of Lucas Raymond. Ooh, all those burps. Nedeljkovic. Dylan Larkin. How about Dylan Larkin being developed into like a for sure first line captain of your team center? Nothing wrong about that.
Can I say that these last two grades are so bad, I'm willing to bump Helene up to a C and everybody else goes up a whole half letter grade because this is garbage. I love Mo Seider. Everybody watching this show loves Mo Seider. He's not the MVP. It's Larkin or Bertuzzi, because if either of those guys misses 1 second of what their usual ice time is, the entire team craters. Now, obviously, we haven't really had to have elongated, lapses that are Seider free. But I just no. I mean, Larkin is like he's the most important player, for the Red Wings since I don't know, Lidstrom, Datsuk. He's that emotional piece. When he goes down, it feels like the team's like no. And I mean, now he's figured out how to score like a top line center. That's madness. I love Seider. He's not the MVP.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. Dylan Larkin, I think we talked about maybe a week ago. We even titled one of our episodes that Larkin was our MVP. Like he even has the for all the NHL pundits that are giving Zegras the nod for the Calder already. Like he's got all those magical moments already for the Wingdings. So yeah. You're right. That's not the best grade, but I see what they're doing. I mean, this is about getting people to read ESPN Plus, which nobody does. And Jared pointing out there, power play time. I think Lucas just took one in the teeth from Strome. Strome is just, Mike.
Man, he's like going for that Gordie Howe hat trick tonight, huh?
If we talked about hockey being episodic, this is the Dylan Strome episode.
Wow. We almost set up a play on a power play. Did you see that? There's a little back and forth action and
I must be way behind.
A one-timer.
I'm just
Larkin is cursing. Oh man, they're going hot.
Yeah, so I'm watching now the start of the power play. So I've missed.
All right, so 6 seconds in, we do not score.
Okay, great.
So we went through two pretty god-awful grades. They're so
ESPN,
bad that they
report. Yeah,
they basically raised all of our other grades of the graders up a whole. I would say at least to a flat if you were a minus, or a plus if you were a flat. Matt, did you save the best for last?
No, that was it.
What? What was your favorite? You teased it like there was a really good one coming. Was it Ted?
Did I?
Yeah, you said.
Yeah, Ted's my winner. I did like the ESPN take, is what I said, because they were pretty diplomatic about it, and they gave the MVP award to Seider and made sure to mention that Zadina is probably on the move. There wasn't any politicking for Dekeyser having a good season or Greiss being average. So, for the things they didn't mention, they get a good grade. But yeah, Ted Colfin's the winner here.
Oh, Matt. Your favorite player, Fabry, just missed a wide open net. Make it 4-3.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that in about 5 seconds here.
Oh, man, what a play by the twos, but it does not go in.
Now, on this power play...
Curb your expectations here, man.
Okay. What's the power play marker for you? What's the time frame? So
I have 33 seconds left.
Oh, wow. You're 30. Jeez, oh, Pete. You're 34 seconds ahead of me. When we started this, I was... Oh, my God. I just saw the Fabry miss.
Yeah. Isn't that bad? Oh. That one was just for Tristan, I think. That wide open Fabry miss.
We did get I just saw the Toozy behind the back. That's classic Toozy on the power play. I love that. That's like a signature pass move for Bert now. Derek Hand, Mike, he gives Red Wings Rant an A+.
Hey, my man, Derek.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Derek, you know what? I give you a hand, sir. I give you an A+.
Oh, God, that miss by Fabry. Good golly.
Does that miss by Fabry change your overall season grade for Fabry? Matt, your thoughts?
Well, I think we did a pretty good job politicking ourselves out of having to give anybody a grade by judging
Just the graders? All right, we'll stand true to that. We won't grade the players.
But I think I went with Ted. That if I'm going with Ted, I think he's the one that was he gave Fabry a B because Helene gave Fabry a C, right? What are we doing? Fabry is having a horrible defensive season if you guys look at the advanced analytics, but clearly he's a little fireball in the offensive zone. Missing a wide open net like that doesn't define his season because we've seen him do quite a bit from further out. So that's just bad luck on his part. I mean, you know that. What the fuck am I doing?
I don't know. What the hell's going on here? But I did think we were going to get some more pressure here, and then I saw it was Joe Veleno, and it was going to be a turnover. And here we are.
Well, everybody across the board gave Veleno a C. I thought that was pretty... I don't know.
You know what? I haven't seen much, so I would give him an incomplete, man. That'd be the best possible grade I could give him.
What has he had? 24 games so far? So he's done 10 more than Nickel Stevens.
Nedeljkovic made a pretty tough save to keep this a 2-goal game.
Jared's got a good one here. Missing an open net would define Zadina's season.
Did they trade jerseys today?
Yeah, right. Chewy throws out there, just think if the Red Wing Rant crew were in charge of the Wingdings. I think we'd have a pretty crap team going right now, to be completely honest.
Yep, we're very impulsive, very impatient.
Yep.
You know.
First phone call for Zadina.
We have no depth.
Not out of hate. Not out of hate. We're just so scared to like anything that doesn't work. I think we want to try the next investment. You know, that's
Yeah, I'm realistic enough to know that Yzerman knows more than me, but I can easily nitpick anybody who professionally writes about the Red Wings.
Yeah, I was a little bummed. Max didn't give us a mid-season grade for us to critique. I think he's.
Oh God, that you know why he's probably still writing it. It's probably going to be a tome of information.
He's afraid of us. It's he doesn't want the Red Wings Rant boys coming at him again last year. All right, so there were a couple other that took a little bit longer than I thought, probably because I started pulling up grades.
Well, we got another. Looks like I have a commercial for the Wings game. Didn't you have a couple prospects? We were just going to take a quick peek at.
Yeah, because that's a great transition. Because I'm going to break this down into our little fun size episode too. Mike, the Kingston Frontenacs. You know who their number 5 leading scorer is on the team? YouTubers, you get to cheat.
I only had to look at the sheet for a second to know it was Shane Wright.
That's right. But why aren't we taking a look at Lucas Edmonds?
Because we already have Lucas Raymond.
You know, funny enough, Mike, also had some time with Frölunda, with the under-16 club. But Lucas Edmonds, born in Ontario, Canada, he's still Swedish. He's 20 years old right now. Has been eligible to be drafted, Mike, since 2020. Hasn't been picked up yet. Kind of scary there. But clearly, this is like his breakout season.
Matt, do you think that if we drafted him
right now? But let me just remind everybody: 58 points so far in 32 games. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Would we have more trouble saying Lucas Raymond passes to Lucas Edmonds, or trying to say Nicholas Lidstrom and Gustav Lindstrom?
I think it's hilarious for all the people that were scolded for so many years for saying Lindstrom when it was Lidstrom, and now all of a sudden they're calling Gustav Lidstrom.
See, and I was right the whole time.
I knew it. So here's what's happened with Lucas. He's made his way on over to the Kingston Frontenacs, I think, to get more notice, because clearly it's not like he's changed as a person. And when you look at some of his play in the J20 Super Elite, he's turning in performances with his 51 points in 44 games. That's similar to our very own draftee, like Liam Dower Nilsson and Niederbach. So over a point per game performance, but wasn't enough to be drafted in 2020 or 2021. He's still eligible in 2022. And now that he's leaving Shane Wright's team, Mike, I think we have, well, while we're trying to like decide, are we keeping Zadina? Are we trading him for somebody else's prospect? You know, are we going to do a change of scenery with a couple of like prospects moving to different areas? You know, how much do we need a winger to kind of replace that spot? And we see a guy that's performing pretty well. I mean, this is clearly someone that they're counting on with 19 goals and 39 assists. So he's in that playmaker realm where he's creating himself and also putting him in the back of the net himself as well. Got time, like I said, with Frölunda, Swedish. Mike, he's ranked 74th on Craig Button's rankings, 107th on the NHL Central Scouting. This is clearly with the Red Wings. If I may, somebody could probably throw in the chat quicker than my brain will remember, or Cap Friendly will even pull this up. But what I wanted to pull up for everybody was, if we go by Craig Button's rankings, we should have 3 picks within range with our 1 first-round pick, which obviously we shouldn't pick him there, and the 2 second-round picks. We'll have 2 picks or 3 picks within range where you could pick him up. And if you want to throw in the 3rd rounder, if he makes it that far, I think absolutely you could take a look at him because he's performing quite well, and he's on the team that Shane Wright's on, and he's so far looking better.
Yeah. I've never watched a single second of him play hockey, but Matt, those stats look pretty nice. And I would like to point out that Strome, this is unrelated to what you're talking about, well on his way to a Gordie Howe hat trick, is also 8 for 10 on his faceoffs today. And it's to the point the Red Wings are making sure that Larkin is going up against Strome on faceoffs. So guys having a pretty good game. Yeah.
So this was really just an opportunity where I was actually somebody shared the Frontenacs stats on Twitter today, and then I kind of was introduced to Lucas Edmonds that way, and that's where I kind of learned this little story about him not being drafted for a couple of years and still might be available. So I say name to keep an eye on, right? Like I kind of make fun of people all the time for like the guys you fall in love with that are later in the draft, and you know, it's just one of those things where how realistic should anybody's expectations be for someone that goes that far back in the draft? But, you know, it's something to think about. Another piece of the conversation here. But another one I saw mentioned on Twitter, and I am confused here. Jared threw in there that it's Picard.
Yeah!
Oh, Picard's in that now.
Baby.
Okay. So, whew. Nedeljkovic has
makes it 4-3.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. I got to fast forward. Oh, boy. Missing another one.
Yeah, get to about 20 seconds to go.
I'm watching the replay now. Bertuzzi out in front. Osterley throwing it to Puce. I think Puce might have got it in there clean. Yep, 4-3. Bertuzzi with quite the look up at the...
You know, this TNT, I love that when you get the national broadcast, how they get all the extra cameras. They got a really good angle on Fleury trying to do a peekaboo around Bertuzzi.
Yeah, how about Puce, by the way? I saw mentioned on some of these grades. We didn't go through them in detail, but in conversations one of these writers had, so I'm sorry, I'm gonna say one of these writers instead of calling out exactly where it came from, but they did say that Puce is supposed to be brought in to actually throw the puck to Vrana. So, you know, Puce is having a good season without Vrana in play, and if we're trying to figure out what's going to happen when he comes along, I don't think we're going to be too upset. Mike, this is a long episode, but we still had one more prospect we wanted to go over. He should look familiar. Max Namestnikov, brother, Vladdy. Mike, he's eligible for the 2022 draft. Not ranked quite as high, but ranked 219 by the NHL Central Scouting. Birthplace, Mike? Royal Oak, Michigan.
Hey!
He's
Matt, you actually lived there, and I lived right next door.
That's right. 5'8", 174 pounds. plays center. So if it worked out, he's got 18 points in 31 games for the OHL's Sarnia Sting. So at this point, not a big game changer for the Sting. But, you take a look back at those under 15 leagues for Honey Baked. That's right, 128 points in 59 games. Woo!
Now, I think we do need to do just a little extra digging to find out if they are indeed sponsored by the Honey Baked Ham Company.
I believe they are.
We need to get some jerseys stat because I want a Honey Baked Ham hockey jersey, man.
Yeah, I think this has to be this is the same lane as like the Little Caesars teams. So a couple of guys I think that you could easily see popping up on draft day. Not necessarily am I saying these are your game changers, but I do like the idea because this was pointed out on Twitter that this would actually happen. A Max Namestnikov, who's graded to be a 7th round draft pick, getting picked up by the Wingdings. I mean, there's a reason that Vladdy came to the team, and it's not just this conversation of, his abilities. We call him the utility man. He's a renaissance man, if I may, because he does all things pretty good. But there's also the family aspect of everything. And Max has that same relationship. So, Mike, the team that drafted Keenan Draper, will they draft Max Namestnikov in the 6th or 7th round? I say yes.
Oh, hell yeah.
And to back up, what is not the 6th round, because we don't have a 6th rounder. But we've got that 7th rounder. Oh boy. We got room for you, Max. You're coming on down. So 2 names to look out for. That's my fun size episode right there. At least as this season progresses and we have less and less to talk about in regards to the Wings, sneaking in a playoff run, which ain't gonna happen. We got to start talking about draft prospects sometime. So here it is. All right.
So I was just gonna say, the last point here. I found the Detroit HoneyBakedHockey.com. Not seeing any swag, which I'm pretty bummed about. However, Honey Baked Ham does want you to know that they've featured over 100 NCAA and NHL alumni, including 7 Olympians: Megan Keller for USA, Cam Fowler with the Ducks, Bobby Ryan, former Detroit Red Wing, Jim Slater, and of course the coup de grace himself, Patrick Kane.
Oh boy,
former Honey Baked Hockey Club alumni.
All right. I think we're gonna let everybody watch the 3rd period. We've been going at it for an hour and a half.
Got to shut off your Star Wars. It is time for a Red Wing power play.
Yeah, we can come back in this game. We're still missing our Lucas Raymond goal on Fleury, so that'll happen in the 3rd. You guys watch out for that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the game. Thanks for coming along for this little ride. I hope everybody had fun watching us grade the critics. I had fun.
Grade the graders, yeah.
It's good practice for us once we get our Little Caesars grades going at the end of the season. If I may, at the top of the comments, you guys might notice a huge link. You guys can use that to go sign up for the Rocket Mortgage $500,000 Super Bowl squares giveaway. It's free to sign up, so you guys can click on that link at the top of the comments here on YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook, you're watching on Twitch, just go ahead, click those links, get started. You're gonna help me out. It actually just helps with my actual job. So do me a favor there. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. If you have a second, those ratings, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, do us a great amount of good. But we will see you guys on Sunday. Woo! All right. Peace.